Hi everybody and welcome back to Rebellious Menstruation. This is a cloth pad tag and this is cloth pad tag number 11. There are 5 questions in this one and they will be listed down below. Please grab a camera, video it, upload it. The more information that we have out there, the less people will feel like they're weird or it's just them. The more information, the better. So, question 1 is, what do I like about printed pads over the plain ones? There is nothing really great about falseness, and that's kind of what these plain pads are trying to sell. Simple packaging and more of a traditional looking pad. I want nothing really to do with the disaster that are single-use disposables. I like having my pads match things that I'm interested in, like these pads here, or show items that have interested me before. I understand that there may be some contentions in copyright issues and fair use issues. However, I can use whichever pad suits my mood, and whatever I'm doing and wherever I'm going, I can pretty well much have whatever I want. I have pretty period things and I actually enjoy them too. Question number 2 is, am I afraid of bacteria and or health risks with reusables? Absolutely not. I am able to be hygienic as I have had the privilege of living in a house with access to water and laundry facilities. I have the ability to change my pads when I am able and when I want to. I don't have to limit my changes to how many pads I have, how many washes I can do, or how many I can afford, because I already have all of those things with me. I've pointed this out before in other videos, but it bears repeating until people understand. Single-use disposables are not sterile and are barely sanitary. They contain manufacturing debris, dust, and are only white because of chemical bleaches. I can wash my cloth pads, and I know where they have been, how they have been treated, where they are from, and what they are made from. I can control what they're washed in, how they're washed, and what they're treated with. I am far more concerned with the bacteria and hygiene risks of single-use disposable products, even with the organic ones, and the elevated environmental risks associated with disposables. Irrelevant of whether this is into the landfill or flushed into the sewage system, which causes severe damage. And I'm quite frankly sick of paying for selfish women who flush their tampons down the toilet. Number 3 is, how can I carry around soiled pads and not be grossed out by this? This is an absolutely valid concern before you make the switch to just cloth pads. The concern is usually also tied up or in conjunction with the alleged smell. It's kind of all wrapped up together. When you have never used cloth pads before, there is definitively an association between that period smell, blood, and menstruation. However, this experience is only accurate and really only accurate for single-use disposables. The blood interacts with the chemicals in the plastic disposables or rayon tampons. The smell does not happen with cloth, as there are no chemicals to react to the liquid or the blood. Once I did switch over, I realised that there was no smell. Even when I dry stored soiled pads in a bucket, waiting obviously for cleaning, there is no smell. And quite often these dry storage can be in there for 3 to 4 days. Once I realised there was no smell, this alone gave me the confidence to go out and be mobile with my cloth pads. If you have seen my prep pack videos, you will see that I carry pad wrappers for ease of change in the bathroom stall and a wet bag to store soiled pads. As with storage at home, there is literally no smell at all. Because they are contained within either wet bags or pad wrappers, there is also no risk to getting that anywhere else to getting that in my bag or in my desk, and therefore there is no risk of getting that anywhere else but in the wet bag. And I've actually never had an issue with that anyway, but I usually take about 5 hold on, where was that? Sorry, lost my train of thought. It was really a phenomenal change, and really indicated to me just how bad disposables are when you have this smell. It doesn't actually reduce the kind of hygiene risk just because it's going to landfill. I usually take around 5 pads for an 8-hour day plus a 3 hours of travel time. So that's generally, I'll be wearing one when I leave the house, which is 6. However, generally at work I will be wearing a menstrual cup. Soiled pads are effectively contained within the wet bag, and while I understand that there is an initial ooh factor or ooh response, it is actually, in practice and in my life, a nil issue, and is just as easy as disposables, and in fact with actually less smell and issues. Question number 4 is, how do I know how many I need to take with me when I go out? This is really personal preference. However, for me, I usually take 5 with me in for a work day. I like to change every 2 to 3 hours, also depending on my flow. However, keep in mind that I do usually wear a cup at work on my heavier days, and will wear a 9-inch pad as a backup. It is generally only my first and or last day when I'm either just started or really, really light at the end that I will use cloth pads, and I will not be as heavy. However, if I'm going to go stay at a friend's overnight, generally I'll apply the same logic and the same rule, change every 2 hours. I don't subscribe to this 6 to 8 hours bullshit, as I find that exceptionally unhygienic. And I also change whenever I generally go to the bathroom, which is why it can be 2 to 3 hours. While I obviously don't have an issue with blood or my period, I also don't need to be sitting in the same soiled pad for 6 to 8 hours. I like to maintain my own personal hygiene. However, I have a moderate flow, and you may be lighter and or heavier. And this is one of the great things about cloth pads and reusables, is that you can completely tailor them to your own cycle. Once you know your own body's rhythm, this type of decision can easily be adjusted to your own preferences, just like with me and my preferences. Question number 5 is, what is the most successful accessory you found? Honestly, the 4 things that have come in most useful have been the pad wrappers from a Gypsy Heart store, which you see quite often in my videos. I do have 4 of them, and I generally will use 2 at a time. They are cotton outer, and they are actually PUL lined. I use this practically every period, and they are useful in travel situations as well. A small wet bag, which, if you've seen, these were used in the May, for my May period, or the first May period. These are both cotton outer and PUL. Well, this is a cotton outer and PUL lined. You would have seen my this one's from Erin Sweet Sew, and the other one with a pocket at the front is from the Purple Panda. The other things that I really, really like are these little silicone bottles that I can take with me. And also wipes. So any type of flannel type of wipes. You can get makeup wipes, or you can have just normal flannel wipes, and you would have seen the other type of wipes that I take with me. They come very handy when out and about, and this can be filled up at the sink in any public bathroom and taken into the store with you if you need it. These items are essentially both at-home and travel items, but in saying that, they allow for easy, convenient movement in all of my life and don't just stop because my life doesn't just stop because I have my period, and most times I will need to leave the house. Thank you for tuning in. Have a fantastic morning, afternoon or evening, depending on where you are in the day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.